Live studio audience. So, what are we doing? I'm plugging the phone in so the battery don't go dead. Yep, that's what I just did. All right. Just figured wish everybody a happy Halloween. Happy Halloween or Hallows Eve, whatever you want to call it. Got some stuff we've been working on. Got our little tiny skull. Had this all for a lot of years. Used to hang on a key ring, but the little eye thingy pulled out. So it's been riding in my toolbox. I was going through the toolbox today and came across this guy. So what are we doing here? Well, I got a gnome drawn on this block of wood, 4x4. Thank you, Roberto. But we're not going to carve that. They would take forever. This is like 4 inches by 4 inches by 6 inches. It would take forever to whittle that out with a knife. I'll have to run it out to the bandsaw. But this is how I do my layups, okay? So I figured the width of the guy, the width of his, how big his face is going to be. And then just kind of roughly sketch on, like the hat is going to be at 2.5 inches. Then we're going to come out from under the hat with a big beard. And then we got his feet. I don't know if you guys can see that. But then I carry these lines over to the side. So when I run it through the bandsaw, right, you're going to cut this, say we cut this shape out. We're not going to cut it all the way off because if we do that, then we'll lose this side. So what I do is I run the bandsaw down to about there, down to that line, but not go through, then back the bandsaw out, and then come over to here. I can go womp, womp. And then that will give me, that'll actually center that hat right in that area, right? So you figure his head, his total head width is going to be, something like that. It's going to be how big the carving is actually going to be. So yeah, we're starting out with a big chunk of 4x4. And then and it's going to whittle it down to, maybe 2 inches. So we'll cut all that out. And then because I'm going to have this guy's arms up, I'll come through the bandsaw and cut to about here. Same way over here. I'm only going to cut it about to here. And that'll get rid of all that wood on the side for me. And of course, we're going to come back a certain amount and we'll put his body on there. But I haven't drawn any of that in yet, so we're not doing that yet. But that's how it's going to work out, I hope. It looks like this one here is a little longer than that one there. So we can just bring that beard. Ain't nothing but a thing. So his beard goes to there. Yeah, we're pretty doggone close. So just blah blah blah. Giving you some of the thoughts that go through my head as far as when I lay something out. And we got this our Geordie from Beyonderland here. We gave him some wings. Wings. He's gonna have some wings. I was trying these little eye screws that I got, eye bolt things. But yeah, see how they just let that flop around? I should have remembered that from fishing lures. So what I'll do is I'll pull them out of there. And then I'll get the wings spaced and I'll just glue them. Just glue them in place. Maybe put a wooden, one of them little shish kebab spears drill a hole and poke it through there and pin it to his back. Something like that. And then our Pixie, been working on her a little bit. I think those hands are kind of monstrous, but I really can't get them down much smaller than that, or else I'll start losing digits. We'll start losing fingers. So I'm trying to decide on what I want to do with the legs, whether or not I want to bring them down to a point, give her skinny legs. That just makes it that much easier for them to break. But they ain't like you're gonna be able to touch this because it's gonna be in a container. It's gonna be in a container, so nobody can really touch her unless they take her out of her container, in which you'll endure the wrath of the pixie. Right? You'll endure the wrath of the pixie. The wrath. Wrath. But yeah, she's got some ways to go yet. So I was hoping to have her done by Halloween, but things and stuff happen. So pixies aren't just for Halloween. And then we we have this unfinished masterpiece here. It's a piece, all right. You too, baby kisses. Hope your Halloween's good. Now, I don't even remember what the heck I was thinking about here. Maybe I was thinking about adding arms onto them. That could be. Um, but as you can see, I haven't. So I don't even know where this guy is going. I have no idea where he's even going. This is just one of them. It's gonna be one of them free-form carving deals where you just go, just kind of let her flow go with the mojo. I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing here. Is just let it flow. See what comes out of it. Probably nothing. So yeah, I always ask myself whenever I get something, I'm kind of meh. Thanks, Tim. I'm kind of meh when it comes to it. I'm like, really just chop it off and make a gnome out of it. You're halfway there. You got the shape going. So I still don't know. I don't know. I see a lot of fuzzies down in there. That's deep though. That's like over 3/4 of that length of that blade in there. Yep. Just decided to go on quick and wish everybody a happy Halloween. Be safe out there. It's raining right now here in Michigan. It's raining. So I don't know if you're gonna have a bunch of wet ghosts and goblins out there tonight, or it was gonna clear off. They were saying earlier it was gonna clear off, but you know, doing the weather is the only job I know that you can be wrong 80% of the time and keep your job. Hi, Amy Joe. Yeah, I bet getting ready. You guys were getting snow, weren't you? I think I seen it on the weather map. If I don't answer your questions, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's that they pop up and they disappear quick on my phone, and I don't have another option. Yeah, it's been super warm here too. What kind of trick-or-treaters do you get out there in the middle of nowhere, Amy Jo? Do the, oh, what do you call them? The prairie dogs show up with their candy bags wanting corn? Candied corn? Like I got room to talk. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Uh, but I'm in the woods. And I haven't had no squirrels show up yet looking for candied corn, so just the unusual goblins, huh? Or the usual goblins. I do have a shop inspector that loves vanilla cookies, though, so she might be my only trick or treater this year. I remember when my son was young, used to have to drive all the way into town so he could trick or treat. And then they started doing this trunk trick or treating, trunk, where everybody would meet at like the church. And for the kids' safety, they would have like all the neighbors would show up with candy. And then the kids could just go to each car and get candy. Trunk or treat, yeah, that's what they call it. They still do it here. It's just a way for your kids to get the candy quicker, and you don't have to go walk around through the rain and the snow. The trunk or treat, yeah, I kind of think it took a lot away from Halloween too, because we used to have like little Halloween parades in a small town I lived by. Every year they'd like at 4 o'clock at night they'd have a Halloween parade, and all the kids would be dressed up in their costumes, and then they'd have like a costume contest. It's warm here. It's like almost 70 degrees in Michigan, which is unheard of for this time of year. Usually we're in the low 40s, high 30s. We had frost about 2 weeks ago, and then it got warm, and now my poor lilac bush is like totally baffled by the weather because now it's got green leaves back on it again. And it even popped out some lilac flowers. 30 years I've lived at this address, and I have never seen that happen. Yeah, it's thank thank you, baby Jesus, for El Nino, because our last winter was like super light. I think I only had to break out the plow truck like 15 times, where normally the plow truck runs more than the one I drive on the road. Which reminds me, that's something else I gotta do is get the tires pumped up on it, get it running again. I do drive it on and off in the summertime just to keep it running. But here for the last I don't know month, it's just been sitting back there. So yep, gotta make sure she's good to go. Because the last thing you want to do is fight with your plow truck with 12 inches of snow on the ground, foot of snow on the ground, and it's arguing with you. All right, Amy Jo, thanks for stopping by Colorado, Denver, Colorado, the Mile High City. Yeah, I thought the weather well, maybe it was more west of you. They were supposed to be getting like 2 foot of snow. It might have been further west. Oh, there's Aiden. How you doing, Aiden? But yeah, I really didn't plan on accomplishing too much on this video today. I don't even know why I'm carving on this guy. I still don't even know if I like him. Yeah, I guess he's all right. I think I did plan on gluing arms to him, because otherwise the block of wood would have been that wide. Oh well, too late now. He's going to be a skinny dude. He's going to be a skinny dude. Yeah, we don't get no trick-or-treaters. Anybody that lives around here will run their kids into town because, by the time you hit the 3 houses around here, they could have had their pillowcase full of candy. We got the big flex cut knife out here. The big, I think it's called a Sloyd knife. I just ripped some wood off the. I want to get this point off this piece of wood, is what it's coming down to here, guys. Get that point off from there. Same way on these corners. We don't need that point on these corners. This is going to be round. It's going to be round, 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 so we got to make it round. Same way across the back here. Don't need no points there. Get rid of my notes I wrote on there. Got no point on his butt, so we might as well get that gone. It's amazing when you start wood carving. You take square things and make them round. You take round things and make them square. The art, the mastery of removal, I guess. Might as well blend this in since I'm not gonna glue arms on them, so we might as well blend that in there. He's a fat reaper. That shows you how much wood I pulled off from there, right? I must have had a brain fart or something going on there. Let's find something semi-straight here. Why don't you use the ruler, Rob, you dumbass? Okay. So you can see that there's been quite a lot of wood off from this guy. If you go right from that point straight up, I'd say so far there's been a good 3/4 of an inch peeled off his head to whittle that head down. So basically what I did is I made the head too small and the body's too big. So we're just going to have to roll on with it. Yep, I was definitely planning on putting an arm on this guy. That would explain that dead stop right there, but plans are always changing, right? Oh, gotta keep them changing all the time. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So we're just gonna blend that in a little bit. Here's something. Oh yeah, just the neighbor. Going down the road in this truck. Kind of waiting for a Federal Express drop. A brake stuff. So yeah. Yeah. Go get the wood pile picked up. I know, it's not very interesting. Happy Halloween. I think these lives are becoming a matter of nothing in particular. You guys think I should be showing some more serious carving on lives, or do you like just hanging out and shooting the crap? Did I just see Perry show up? Ah, the electric whittler. How you doing, man? Happy Halloween if you do Halloween. I know Jordy's getting all set up for Halloween. He's going out all Halloween Jordy this year. Carving the pumpkins and all that good stuff. Decorating his house. Heck, I was all set up to carve another pumpkin for my deck, but I never got to it. But don't have to be Halloween to carve something to put on your deck. Just been fighting with all kinds of crazy health problem stuff. I had to go to the foot doctor. Ended up getting a big blister, and I don't know how. It isn't like I'm out running marathons or anything. I'm lucky if I make it out of bed in the morning. And I'm like, well, okay, it's a blister. It'll go away. After about 2 weeks, I'm like, it's not going away. So they're like, ah, good thing you came in. We might have had to take that off for you. Oh, boy. So I had to go on antibiotics, stay off my foot. Couldn't walk around. They gave me this. Hi, Mike. Gave me this great big boot for my 1 foot, you know. It's like 3 inches thick, so you're trying to, even if you try to walk, you can't because 1 foot's 3 inches higher than the other. And when you got back problems, that makes it even, your back problems even worse because it tweaks your back sideways. All right, what are we going to do here? Let's put a center line back in here. Maybe I should have glued the arms on it. Because I guess I can just bring them down and have them inside of his sleeves. That's kind of boring, but I don't see where I got much room to do much else. Any suggestions, people? Any suggestions at all? Yeah, it's raining here right now. I really didn't leave enough shoulder either. What to do, what to do? Well, when at first you don't succeed, try again. You know, I just don't know here. This may be just a waste of my time, a waste of our time. I just don't know. Don't know. Don't know. Well, as long as you guys are enjoying it, gotta give the people what they want. Could do like a ghost guy. Ghost riders in the sky. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Could do something like that there. Well, let's cut that line in and find out. See if it works for us. Man, I need something with a bit more something. Make sure we're staying in focus here. Hocus pocus, stay in focus. Yeah, I know, I should be wearing a carving glove. Supposed to set a better example, Rob. Boink. Oop, slip there. That's why you make sure your fingers are out of the way in case stuff like that happens. The wood gives way on you. You don't accidentally make yourself give yourself a split personality. I didn't know there was yodeling in that song. Ghost Riders in the Sky? I didn't think there was. Is there yodeling in that song? I think the only modern song I've heard of that has yodeling in it was a Robert Plant song from back in the 80s. And the lion sleeps tonight, the wingawets, that's not really yodeling. Hey, Spike. We still got about half an hour before it hits 420 here. About 40 minutes. Oh, so close. One of these times I'm going to catch that finger. Definitely ain't no hair left on it from that one. That was a close shave there. I'm pushing way too hard for what I'm doing. It's always 420 somewhere. Yeah, but I don't think I'd be doing the live at 420. See, Jordy did the drawing for the Halloween challenge. So if you haven't seen that, head over there to Jordy's channel and check it out. I'm sure everybody's got notifications of it. Well, now we need something with a little bit stiffer blade. That one's flexing away from me way too much. Oh, I need a different blade. My favorite 1.5 inch is out in the truck box. Let's see, we got this one here. I think this is ooh, boy, that wind is blowing out there. I hope none of the trick-or-treaters dressed up as like kites, or else they're going for a ride, man. Wow, hear that wind blowing out there? 2.5 inches, that's what that knife is. You guys can probably hear that wind from, I got the door open. That's how warm it is right now. I got the door open. Shop inspector's over there on the recliner looking at me. Man, you just beat an OCC knife. Unless it's a just carve knife. But thus I regress. This thing's got just the right amount of flex and stiffness to it that I appreciate. I would raise the camera up higher, but then I really wouldn't be able to see the comments. So it took us a minute to figure out what we were going to do here. Do we really know yet? No, we really still don't know what we're doing. Ugh, that was a rough one. That's rough on the finger too. There's a trick I seen a guy doing where he took put a nickel on some of that wrap tape on his thumb so that he was pushing against that thin edge. That sounds like an awesome idea. If I only had a nickel, I wouldn't be in a pickle. Maybe this will help. I don't know. I don't know. Have some coffee. Yep, after almost chopping my finger off 3 times, I figured we better put the carving knife back on it. Or the carving glove on it. Might not be so lucky on the next slice. At least the glove will cover up the blood. You know, if you accidentally slip. I don't know how good it's going to stop it. These gloves are cut resistant, not cut proof. And they're not stab proof. They're not stab proof at all. So if you go boop, guess what? You can feel it go right through the weave of the glove. Go right through there. Yep. They might be cut resistant, but they're not cut proof. They're not what do you call it? Slice proof or a poke proof. My that went away quick. It got mentioned by what? How not to carve. This is how you do not carve. Do not watch this idiot. That's the kind of comments I would expect. I just caught the very end of that, Aiden. I'm sorry. I was looking down and I can kind of see something flash on my screen, so I look up, and sometimes the comments go, whoosh. I mean, they just zip right through there. Have you figured out where we're going with this thing yet? Do a little swoop cut down here at the bottom. Swoop-de swoop. Make sure to touch every corner, every flat spot with the knife. Choke up on that guy a little bit there. Get rid of... By the time we're done, I want no surface on this carving not touched with the knife. Wood carving weekly. Oh, is that done with that Uncle Jack guy? I think I watched some of his videos. Jack carves, Uncle Jack carves, something like that. Cousin Jack carves. That's it. Yeah. Okay. Yep, that guy. Yep. I did not know that. Cousin Jack mentioned me. Yeah, he's always got good stuff on his channel. All right, Electric Whittler, we'll catch you later. Get ready for the squids to come around, the ghouls and goblins. Here in a couple weeks, we'll all be gobbling. Gobbling turkey. I think I got everything ready to go for winter. as far as I got the boats put away, and I still gotta mow my grass one more time. Well, not grass. I gotta mow my leaves one more time. If so, good. If not, the plow truck will move all the leaves to the end of the driveway. Man, that's a lot of swoop cuts right there, people. And the backside of this does not like being cut in an upward direction. It's getting very, very pulley, teggy, stretchy. Not well. I wouldn't say stretchy. I would say more like splintery. That's the word. A lot of splinters pulling out. Lots of splinters. Man, that wind is whipping out there. All right. If you haven't guessed what we're going for, he's more of a ghost than he's more of a ghost thing than what I was going for here. But hey, sometimes you just gotta roll with the adaptation. Just gotta go with it. Sometimes it comes out cooler than what you originally started, and sometimes it just becomes a air rifle target. Yep. All I can say is, thank goodness for mistakes, or I wouldn't have nothing to shoot at. All right. Doug Linker just made a good video on a two-faced Santa. He took a 1x1 and carved the Santa face on both sides of it, which was sharing the hat and the sides of the head for the beard. And we've got one Santa sleeping and one Santa smiling. Nice, cute idea. I'm waiting for my flag to take off across the yard. Yep, still up there, but man, she's definitely doing a salute. So where is my pencil? Here it is. All right, we'll see you later, Hayden. Finally had enough boredom, huh? And the boredom overtook us, and he began to speak. We're gonna make a gnome go into a Halloween party, and he's dressed up like a whatever that thing up there. See if we can get the bottom of the nose cut in here. Ugh. This basswood's got some bite to it. There's our center line. Okay. So I'm going to go from the tip of the nose right back. We can always adjust this thing here later. want to make sure that flat spot that I just created is flat. All right, so yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Now you can make a no eyes gnome, or you can put eyes in them. Whatever floats your boat. Yep, I flexed that blade a little too much that time. Nice shiny cuts. Like I said, if I don't mention your comment, it's because I'm looking at the piece that I'm cutting here. So don't think I'm ignoring you. Well, on this one, this is a newer style Stanley. You can see there's some blade wiggle there. On the older style Stanleys, oh, let me grab one. This has no wiggle, none, zero, zilch on the wiggle. So that just shows you the old ones were made at a tighter spec than the newer ones. But yeah, I've been thinking about that. This blade wiggle here, and what I've come up with is if you get some 2-part epoxy, like the Quickwood or JB Weld, take your blade. Let's see, I got a screwdriver here. Yeah, right here. I would say JB Weld's probably going to be better. But, okay. You can see how much room. I mean, there is a lot of room in there on that little nub. The little nub in there. There's a ton of room. This blade actually sits right at the bottom of that little nub. Now the back one is the same way. So even with a new blade, without my butchery done to it, if you put that in there, because you can have it in two positions, right? Just barely sticking out with the normal, I would say the normal cutting position. And then where I have my cut blade at, you can see there's a ton of room in there. So what I would do is mix up some JB Weld, pour it in here, take it right up to even with that face. Take your blade and put some wax or something on it so the JB Weld will not stick to it. I would probably put a heavy layer of wax on it or packing tape. JB Weld does not stick to packing tape, and neither does the 5-minute epoxy. So I fill in this side with JB Weld, and then take the packing tape and put it on the blade, and of course you're going to have to cut out where these little notches are. And press it in there, okay? That's going to tighten up all that. That's going to put JB Weld around that little nub in there that really isn't there to do anything. I mean, all that does is keep the blade from sliding out. That's all that little nub does. So if you want to tighten it up by putting the JB Weld all in here, up here, around that corner, and then taking your blade and pressing it into it with the, don't forget to put the tape on it, or else it just may be there forever. Let that set up, pop your blade out, and then when you put this in there, you can see this side does not have those little nubs on it. It has little notches where the nubs are. So if you build it up a little too much, it is no big deal. There's already clearance there for it. And then once that JB Weld sets up, that should take up the slack in that blade. I'm going to have to try it. I got to prove my concept, my theory to you guys. So I think I do have, there it is. I think I do have some JB Weld laying around here that I will whip it up and dump it in here, because you see that blade's tilting right out of there. Let's set that down. Or another idea that might work is to drill that right out. Drill that out and put a bigger screw in there so that it fills up more of that space inside of the blade. And then you can do the same thing on this side. Just see, that's already got clearance there, so you might not have to do anything with it. But that's some thoughts I've had about it. I have thought about it, how to tighten that blade up in there. The only other thing I can think of is that aluminum tape. You can press that aluminum tape in there to make it tighter, make it make it a tighter grip on the blade. That's the only other thing I can think of. Of course, I have a milling machine, so I can mill all that out and create my own. That might be a good idea too, is to take it and just clean all of those bumps and stuff out of there. I still think the pin idea is going to be probably the best way you can do it, is drill that out and put a larger pin in there so that it grabs the U in that bolt better. I think that's probably going to be the better way of doing it. More I think about it, I might have to do that and then show you guys. Because then you'd have a pin through both sides. You could go right through both sides of, like a regular knife handle, where the pin goes through both sides. And then you could even put it back, mark that second dot in the blade and pin it there too. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to try doing. And if it works, I'll show you guys. You really don't even got to be a pin. It could be just like I'm thinking like a 1032 screw with a nut so that you can travel all the way through there. The JB weld seems to be the simplest way, I think. You know, where it doesn't require a drill, a drill press or anything. There's probably a couple different ways you could do it. I'm just thinking of just rattling ideas off through my head here, you know. You don't have a milling machine, why not? Do you have a drill? I would say the drill. I know if you got a Dremel, you can use a Dremel and just take them little ears off the aluminum or extruded metal here. Take a Dremel and cut them little ears off from there, and then fill it full of JB weld with the. Remember, packing tape is the important part. Fill that thing full of JB weld and squash that blade in there, and then that would form exactly to the blade. You know what I'm saying? It'd be an exact fit. So probably take all this wibble wobble out of here. Yes, that's a technical term. Wibble wobble. Oh, Jordy sent me a photo. He was carving a pumpkin with his Just Carve Rob carving knife, and I don't mean a fake pumpkin. I mean a real pumpkin. So I don't know how that's going to hold up. I don't know if pumpkins have a lot of acid in them. Might not be a good idea. Make sure you oil that blade, Jordy, after you're done chopping up pumpkins with it. All right. So where are we at now? Besides yakking, carving and yakking. Get my fingers back there so I don't need to be going to the room with a sliced open finger today. They probably think it's some kind of Halloween prank. Did Jordy show up? I told him I was going live, but I know he was busy. He's been a busy man. Oh, there you are, Jordy. I see you now. Man, you couldn't go on the beach around here and blow you clean across to Alaska. The wind is just a howling, man. I thought you'd be doing your Halloween stuff, Jordy. Oh, you're beach combing? He's the beach combing. Oh, it's all set up? That's good. Put my center line back in here. So I'm going to come about 1/8 of an inch off my center line. And then I'm going to put my eye line in. Oh, that's about as crooked as it gets. I don't know, whereas that is much better. Okay, we're gonna call that good. Do I want to use this knife or do I want to use a different knife? Oh, let's try this one. I think after this, nope, that ain't gonna work. That blade's flexing way too much. I think after this live, I'm gonna go in the house and maybe play some Warframe. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut that. Man, this knife is pretty dull here. Wow. That's the only thing about the Beavercraft knives. They like to be sharpened a lot. Not saying that's a bad thing. Okay, let's try this again. Come in alongside the nose and make a swoop. Didn't swoop enough. We get that down on an angle there. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Do the same thing here. I'm gonna cut that down a little bit, like that. I don't know if any of that's making sense. I'll come back on this side. That's kind of why I like to do the faces before I do the hat. But at least we don't got to put eyebrows on them. Of course, I can cut that hat back too. Don't need to have that big of an overhang on it. You come right around here and just peel that hat back so we can get our knife in there a little bit better. Yeah, that just tore that wood up there. Oh well, what are you gonna do with your wife drinks, Slicker? There we go. You can always bring the this part up a little bit. You want to show more eye. Ay. Pete, what are you doing over there? Why are you making so much noise? Pete, the shop inspector. She ain't doing her job today, or else she would have kept me from screwing this thing up so bad. She's been, what are you doing, boss? What are you doing? I do not know what I am doing. Well, have I bored you guys for long enough? No filming today, huh? Just gonna go for the heck of it, huh? Yeah, the other day, I go out to my mailbox and get the mail, and there's a package in it. A little package. I'm like, what the heck is this? So I take it in the house, I open it up, and it's a bobblehead Yoda. And I'm like, I didn't order a bobblehead Yoda. So, immediately you start going through your records. Did I? Was I sleep ordering stuff again? Was I sleep shopping? Nope. I didn't order it. So I'm figuring, well, maybe they delivered it. Because I did order some brake shoes for for a truck. I'm like, did they send me this Yoda instead of my brake shoes? So I'm checking my records and seeing what's what and where's where and who went where and what did what. I can't find nothing. So I'm talking to Jordy last night. I'm like, hey man, I got this weirdest thing in the mail today. He's like, oh, what was that? I'm like, I got this bobblehead Yoda in the mail. And he's like, oh, did you? Yep, Jordy the gift ninja strikes again. He's like, I sent that to you. So meanwhile, for a couple hours, I get to go through all my records because he didn't tell me he was sending it. Go through all my stuff to find out where the heck this Yoda got ordered from. And it's my buddy Jordy. Happy birthday, Rob. Because I have a Toyota 4Runner that I've been messing with. And I call it, when I talk to Jordy, I always call it Yoda. And I had mentioned that I was looking for a bobblehead Yoda to stick on the dashboard. Oh, yeah. I got a surprise. Yeah, Jordy's got a big heart. He's always doing crazy stuff like that. Well, I shouldn't say crazy. I should just say nice, and I appreciate it. I thought everybody could switch hands left and right, left and right. No, everybody can't do that. I can't think about it. If I think about it while I'm doing it, I can't do it. I just got to be kind of absent-minded and just let things happen the way they happen. Story of my life. Oh, you ought to see me at Thanksgiving, man. I got fork in both hands, a fork in each hand. Happy Halloween, Jordy. I'll talk to you later, buddy. Yeah, we've been on here for quite a while. Should probably call it a thing. We should call it a thing, no? Seeing if I got any scratches in this blade. Right there, there's some deep deformation. Right on the very tip. You can feel it with your fingernail. 71 minutes, holy cow. All right, so I guess I'll save this for the next live. We'll get back to it. And I think that's it for today, boys and girls. Clip that nose up, though. Like that. Yeah, no problem, Jim. Ugh. You all stay safe. Have a happy Halloween. And remember, stay awesome. Carve something awesome. Do something awesome. Carve every day if you can. Practice, practice, practice. And we will catch you on the next one. All right, Spike? All right. And we will catch you guys later. All right, Perry? No, I can't eat lots of candy. I got type 2 diabetes, so I could. And now you know the problem with the foot. When you got type 2 diabetes, diabetes, you don't want your feet to get an infection like I had, because they were talking about chopping it off. And I'm like, oh boy. So I followed the doctor's orders strict. Sit on the bed, take your meds, and yeah. And I did, and I got to keep my foot. So that's good. No, what do you call that? No hook foot for me. Because instead of having a hook for a hand, I'd have to have a hook for a foot. I was joking with Jordy. I said, yeah, I'd have you carve me a wood spirit peg leg. The wood spirit peg leg. That'd be wicked, wouldn't it? All right. Take care, everybody. I had an uncle that lost his leg up to the kneecap. He had full blown diabetes, and he just didn't take care of himself. Didn't take his medicine when he's supposed to take his medicine. Had a thing for Pepsi. Man, drank that stuff by the crate full, and he ended up losing his leg and then his life. Yeah. It was pretty quick, too. They chopped his leg off up to the knee, and then a year later, he was dead. Once he lost his leg, lost his mobility, he lost the desire to keep going, I guess. So, enough sad story. Happy Halloween. We'll catch you all later.